Oh! You can see it, everybody. It's the light at the end of the tunnel.
Over here now.
What? Where? I'm over here now. It's the season finale, America. We did it.
I'm over here now.
Season 3. Gonna be in the can.
Friends, I'm over here now. Alright, listen.
I throw a curveball and you just strike out. You start to cry and your mom is asking for you. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for yourselves and welcome to Season 3, Episode 6, the Season 3 finale of Philly Comedy Club and Last Out Media's RUS GUTIN Experience on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and everywhere you get your podcasts. That's right, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, all good things must come to an end, and it's our Season 3 finale. And this week, per tradition, as we do every season finale here on the RUS GUTIN Experience, we are going to be joined by amazing comic, my friend, and the host of Hashtag Dinners Ready Live, which is both a show on IG Live and now in real life. Mr. Dan Altano is going to join us for an amazing baseball springtime food-themed cooking segment, doing New York versus Chicago hot dogs with special guest, my very actual human wife, DARA DeVito, cooking alongside him, making my special needs version. Give it up for our guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I am so excited, and like I said, this is our Season 3 finale, so at the end of the show, stick around, because I want to give a special shout-out to all the people at Philly Comedy Club and Last Out Media and New York Comedy Club, etc., who make this show possible for you on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and everywhere you get your podcasts. So everybody, give it up for the Season 3 finale of the RUS GUTIN Experience. Woo! Go Birds, go Phillies. All right, everybody, welcome back to Season 3, Episode 6, the season finale of Philly Comedy Club and Last Out Media's RUS GUTIN Experience on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and everywhere you get your podcasts. And it is time for the season finale edition of your favorite segment and mine, Quaran-BITS, where I, Papa Russ, update you about how life has been going for me in the lockdown, pandemic, homeschooling, quarantine situation that we have all found ourselves in over the last year and month, but now seemingly is hopefully coming to an end. And that brings me to my story tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because just 2 weeks ago, your Papa Russ received his second vaccination shot, ladies and gentlemen. So that means as of Sunday, I will be fully vaccinated in the eyes of the law and God. Give it up for me, America. We did it. Who wants to touch me, you fucking whores? That's right. I got my vaccination passport right here, all laminated and fancy and shit, and all access pass to society. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm thinking about flying to Disneyland just to breathe all over the salad bars, okay? I feel goddamn invincible and amazing. But you're probably wondering why somebody like me was able to get vaccinated so early. But if you know me, you would know that I have many medical issues, both physical and mental, Dan, of course, okay? And as you know from listening to the show, I have every allergy under the sun that you can imagine. And due to a childhood blood disease, I have no spleen either, ladies and gentlemen. So that is why I am damaged enough to have gotten vaccinated early here in the state of New Jersey. But there was another problem with this situation of me getting vaccinated early, okay? Because just like Paul Rudd, I am ageless. I know, that's what everybody says about me, Dan. RUS GUTIN, he's just as talented as Paul Rudd and just as ageless, okay? Because the problem is, like Paul Rudd, with my mask on, when you cannot see my beard, I look 12 years old, okay? I look like I'm taking your daughter to the junior high school dance and I'm feeling her up during the Boys to Men band, okay? That's what's going on here. I look fucking like a child, okay? So, also, I am already, as you know, a very anxious, nervous, and paranoid person. So, I go to the CVS stand to get my first shot, and I'm online looking 12 with my mask on, okay? And when I tell you that everybody else on this line either fought in World War I, survived Pearl Harbor, or was a minimum of 7,321 years old. I am not kidding. I shit you not, okay? It was the greatest generation and me, okay? And I can feel their scorn, okay, everybody? I can feel their cataract judgmental eyes all up on me, okay? All right? And these hearing aid motherfuckers also don't understand that I have comedy club hearing, okay? So I can hear every disparaging word that they are saying about me under their hard to come by short elderly breaths, okay? Like, oh, look at this young whippersnapper right here cutting the vaccine line with his youth and his will to live and his cock all working, this motherfucker right here, you know what I mean? I can feel it, you know? But I just kept saying to I did my affirmations, Dara. I kept saying to myself, Russell, be chill, woosah, don't pop off at these old judgmental white people. You do not want to get kicked out of this CVS before you even get your first shot, Russell. Just be chill, okay? But to tell you the truth, audience at home, I wanted to pop off. I wanted to defend myself, you know? I wanted to be like, hey, you fucking elderly crypt keeper motherfuckers, okay? I'm 42 and I got no spleen. My vac stats are legit, okay? You silver Fox News Nazis, shut your ancient holes. That's what I wanted to do, but I didn't. I said, Russell, just be chill. Read the back of the box of this electric toothbrush, wait your turn, and don't get kicked out of the CVS before you even get your first shot, okay? Now listen, everybody, maybe after my second shot, maybe then, you know, on the way out of the store, Dan, you know, I could cold cock some fucking morbidly obese elderly white dude with his oxygen tank, his No Obama t-shirt, and his mask half under his nose defiantly, you know. Maybe then I get a running start, you know, and give him the flying elbow treatment and get banned from the CVS in Lawrenceville, New Jersey. But you got to do that after your second shot, not before the first one. You want to be fully vaxxed before committing acts of violence, okay? So I get my first shot, no incident, no violence, okay? Fast forward a few weeks later. I go to get my second shot, okay, everybody? I'm still the nervous, anxious, paranoid person you've always known, okay? I'm in line now, looking 12 again, with the greatest generation. I'm feeling their scorn, but this time, for my second shot, I am so nervous and anxious and focused and determined on not popping off and yelling at the old judgmental white people that the doctor calls me over to the chair. I'm all jacked up and nervous, and I sit down, and the doctor looks at me and he says, Mr. Gutin, do you have any questions? And I say, any questions? Which he should not have done, okay, everybody? Here's a little life hack for you. If a nervous Jew don't ever ask a nervous Jew if they have any questions, okay? Because, spoiler alert, I had all of the questions, okay, everybody? I was like, do you think this shot will make my arm hurt too much to play my PlayStation 5? What happens to us after we die? Mustard or mayo? Do you think this vaccine will also make me unallergic to dairy? What about gluten? Where do baby birds come from? I mean, like, how do birds do it? Ross and Rachel or Chandler and Monica? Will you look at this thing on my back? Abscess, mole, birthmark, or cancer? Brangelina or Benifer? Why are we here? Did you understand the movie Inception? Is it too hot or too cold in here? I honestly can't tell. So while I'm droning on, jab, he vaccinates me, okay? And then he's like, okay, Mr. Gutin, go sit over there for 15 minutes so we make sure you don't turn into a zombie. Jackie, will you come over here and take a picture of Mr. Gutin real quick? And I'm like, oh, wow, cool. Do you guys take a picture of everybody who gets the shot here? And he's all, well, not everybody. So needless to say, everyone, I am no longer welcome and am definitely banned from the CVS in Lawrenceville, New Jersey. But I am fully vaccinated, much to the chagrin of the greatest generation. So give it up for me, America. I am vaccinated. I will make out with your mom on Christmas Eve. You're welcome. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for the last season 3 finale, season 3, episode 6 edition of Quaran-Bits on Philly Comedy Club and Last Out Media's RUS GUTIN Experience on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and everywhere you get your podcast. Get the vaccination, you dummies. Go Birds, go Phillies. Good night. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are rounding out to the last leg of season 3, episode 6, the season 3 finale of Philly Comedy Club and Last Out Media's RUS GUTIN Experience on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and everywhere you get your podcasts. And as per tradition here on the RGE tradition, as we've ended every season finale here, and as we've done every season finale and every season here on the RUS GUTIN Experience, we are proud to welcome back my buddy, amazing comic, and the host of hashtag Dinners Ready Live, Mr. Dan Altano, to do a live cooking segment with my real actual human wife, Dara. And tonight we are going to be doing a springtime baseball food themed edition, and they're going to be making New York versus Chicago hot dogs to end our season on a delicious note. But first, ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited because tonight I get to share a clip of my amazing friend Dan's amazing stand-up. This clip is called Therapy on Zoom, and it was shot outdoors on a rooftop at New York Comedy Club's pandemic rooftop location. And it is absolutely amazing, and you guys are going to please give it up for a little clip of my buddy, Mr. Dan Altano, and his bit, Therapy on Zoom.
I was on Zoom therapy, I was in the middle of a sentence, and the therapist goes, "Oh, grow up!" Then she goes, "Oh, sorry, I thought I was on mute." Look, that doesn't make me feel any better. And she started using therapy speak to get out of it. She goes, "No, I'm just saying, at your age, you have to start implementing some self-parenting techniques." I'm like, "You had it right the first time." I'm 37 years old, I don't know if I'm gonna grow up, I don't know. I feel like growing up is a lot like doing cocaine, you know? It's like, you haven't done it by 37. What's the point? Like, that ship has sailed.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, amazing comic, my friend, and the host of hashtag Dinners Ready Live, Mr. Dan Altano, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Oh, my God. Oh, so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be back. This is my favorite show. This is so awesome. Thank you, Russ. Hi, Dara.
Hi, Dan.
How are you?
The gang is all here, reunited, and it feels so good. Dan, as I have said before, you are one of my favorite comics and people in the whole business and real life, which are very different things. I love that bit. It is absolutely brilliant and timely, and just, you're going to be able to use it for like the next year and a half. I'm so excited for you. And now, as we mentioned, you are our first ever 3-time guest on the RUS GUTIN Experience. What an incredible honor for you and your loved ones. They will have it at your funeral. You're welcome. Now, again, like I said, Dan, I loved that clip. But what I really loved about it, besides the brilliant material, was the rooftop setting that New York Comedy Club set up that you filmed at, okay? So this is my first question for you tonight as a comic. Of all of the new places and settings you and other comics have performed during the pandemic, i.e. like rooftops, patios, Central Park, Zoom with RUS GUTIN, alleyways, crack dens, which was your favorite? And do you hope that any of them stick around in the new world?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would actually say the New York Comedy Club rooftop is my absolute favorite.
Oh,
and
cool.
The reason is, you know, I did a lot of fields. I did a lot of parks. I did a lot of, you know, kind of weird, kind of outdoor, kind of weird situations. And the thing about the New York Comedy Club rooftop is that it's small enough where you can feel the laughs like a comedy club. So it's not a lot of people. It's like 20 people max. But they're spread out enough where you feel safe. But the rooftop is closed off enough and small enough where you can actually feel more intimate. I think the hard part was like, you know, being in a field and having to project all my jokes. You know, like literally just like, my mom is coming to town. You know, you feel like you're
Take my words.
Yeah. People are like, I'm at a picnic. Why is comedy happening? What is
no, say happy birthday to your abuela. I'm trying to do my stand-up, you know. That's hysterical. I love that you felt like even though you're in the sky, that the ceiling was low as comedy is meant to be performed in.
It feels low, but the danger of it is, well, two things. One, a helicopter can ruin your set. You know, like, and it happened. In fact, in that recording, the joke before it, like, went pretty well. And I listened back to the recording, and it's like, so I went to the, and there's a above me. And the other thing is, when you bomb, you feel like jumping off a roof.
Right.
So it's dangerous.
And it's right there for you. Usually we just have like a pizza, like a slice of pizza. That's what we end up doing.
Right, exactly. So it's like you're way too close.
No, I have to be honest. When I saw you guys performing on the rooftop, the first anxious Jew thing I thought was, oh my God, I would be afraid to blow away. A heavy wind, I'm in the middle of an act out, and there I go. You know, I just like that Pixar paper airplane short, like, you know. So no, that's incredible. But honestly, you were incredible. I saw a few other bits that you had of that, and it was just great, Dan. And you are here because Dara and I, as I said before, both fucking love your show on IG Live, #DinnersReadyLive. You have such amazing recipes and hilarious, handsome, and ageless guests like RUS GUTIN and other people who aren't RUS GUTIN and should definitely try harder. Now, while you did one or two live socially distant versions of #DRL as part of the Connecticut Comedy Festival during the pandemic, now you actually do have a new live one coming up in the new post-pandemic world on Friday, May 7th in New Haven, Connecticut on the rooftop at Elm City Social at 7 p.m. So my question for you is, Dan, for the viewers at home, who is on the show that night? What are you cooking? And my other question is, does the audience, when they're live, get to try the food? Because if not, I would riot personally.
Well, here's the catch. You might have to riot.
Oh, good.
So first of all, thank you for bringing that up. We're doing a monthly show, actually. It's the first Thursday of every month.
Awesome.
In New Haven, Connecticut. And the first one is May 7th. We have Maddie Smith, who's on MTV's Wild and Out.
Oh, we love Maddie. That was my second. I think the last show I did before the pandemic was in Atlantic City with Maddie Smith.
Oh, really? Oh, she's absolutely hysterical, hilarious, great person. We also have my buddy Ryan Brown, who's my co-host on Dinner City Live. We have this great local guy named Dan White who's going to be hosting. Pat Johnson, who's actually an LA comic who moved to New Haven as well. And then Sasha Serbal, who is just a brilliant, just hilarious comedian who actually has a special out on Amazon Prime called Artificial Ignorance. So we got a great lineup. And, of course, myself. And
I mean, you're going to be there, but, like, you know.
All right, it's not exactly. But so what it is we've actually partnered with this place called Elm City Social, which is a really great like foodie destination.
Ooh.
What they do is they've actually built a menu for all the guests at Dinner's Ready Live. They can choose something off of the menu and eat dinner there and then watch the show. So
great. So they've already tasted the food, so they don't even have to anticipate it. They're already in love with your food, and then they get to fall in love with your comedy if they haven't already.
That's the deal. So the whole idea is mixing the food and the comedy together, which just goes hand in hand. It's that love that you feel. It's like the closeness, the intimacy. It all comes from food, and it's super exciting. We always try to have them eat before the show because as a friend of mine once said, no one is funnier than chicken parm. If you have food, and Russ, you've done every show under the sun, and it's like you have people that have just started eating.
Right.
It's not going to work because they're just
never.
You know how I am. I black out. I black out when I'm eating. I don't even.
At Gotham, sometimes when I would be opening Comedy Juice, you know, everything would be going well, okay. But then, like, right as I'm getting into that, like, you know, that thick story you got in your set, you've peppered them, you've established your character, and now you're going to take them on a little jaunt, a little journey, right? Every single time, chicken fingers, sliders, you know, I can never, no matter how good looking I am, and that it's undeniable.
Sure.
I cannot compete with sliders to face. Or chicken fingers. And Gotham has better food than other comedy clubs. Other comedy clubs are like, you know, it's fucking shit on a shingle, and you either like it or don't. But yeah, no, I like, and also I will say this, having come from a musical theater background and a comedy background, the 7 o'clock audience, half of them have just ate, half of them are waiting to eat, right? So that's why we remember the 7 o'clocks at Kiss Kiss. It was always like, the left side of the room was into it.
Yep.
The right side of the room was like trying to get to their reservation.
Right.
Yet the 9 o'clock crowd, they've ate, but they've also had too many. So there's always like a give and take of those. But I love the format. I love how you found a way to transfer your show that was born out of the lockdown. If you've watched the show before, you would find out that Dan actually really learned to cook, you know, through this project and this situation. So I love that you found a way to sort of transfer what you've been doing to the live format. So I can't wait to go to it. I can't wait to be a part of it. And I can't wait to hear about how good all the food is, because if it's delicious, you can bet I'm allergic to it. So
Russ, I want you to be on the show.
So I can't wait.
We gotta figure out a date, and I'd love you to be on it, and then bring Dara, and we'll all hang out.
I am related to several Jews in the Connecticut area, so they will be accosted and forced to go. Perfect. I can't wait. So now, Dan, I asked you to be here again tonight because, as you already know, it's a tradition. We think of you like family, and you are our show's only tradition. So tonight, like I said, we wanted to do the spring-summer baseball cooking segment with you. But before I put you to work, I love your wardrobe tonight. You thought about the wardrobe. That makes my musical theater heart sing the entire score of Wicked, okay? But before I put you to work cooking tonight, even though I love you as a person, Dan, you are, in fact, a Mets fan, which, speaking as a Phillies fan and a person that loves you, I find reprehensible, disgusting. I don't know if there's other impeachable offense.
Why? How could
the
you?
Worst. Okay.
Like
but so I ask you, as a Mets fan tonight, Dan, how are you feeling about the Mets' new billionaire busybody owner and the Mets 2021 season so far? Would you say they are NL East Division contenders or pretenders?
Neither. Here's the
Spoken like a true Met fan.
Russ, here's the thing. I was never like this with relationships. You know when people are like jaded on a relationship and they're like, I don't care anymore. I don't care. I'm broken inside. And the Mets is one of those things where like, you know, the preseason talk, like my younger brother, I love him. He works at Major League Baseball.
Where, really? So your older brother and then your younger brother? Jesus Christ, Dan.
They're more successful and talented and taller, but that's not the point.
It's not the point. It's not the point. You're my favorite.
But my younger brother is he works for Major League Baseball Network. He has 5 Emmys. He's a very intelligent guy, but for some reason, every year, his whole life, this is it, Dan. We got the pitching, we got the hitting, we got it all. No one's gonna break their legs in a taxi cab on the way to the first. Oh no, what happened? Oh, they broke their leg in a taxi.
Oopsie daisy.
The thing about the Mets, I don't like the word cursed, but it's not. It's not that they're not good. It's that they will do things like Cespedes
right.
was going to come back and play after being injured, and while he was recovering from an injury, he fell in a hole on his arm. He fell in a hole.
I don't know what happened.
He fell which is the most Mets thing.
Right. It is one of the most Mets things ever. And that's saying a lot.
Fell in a hole. So are we pretenders or contenders?
Yeah. You would say so I guess what you're saying is like you can't hurt me anymore. I have built up a wall. I won't buy into this talk, you know what I mean? I thank you for Zach Wheeler. He was amazing the other night.
You're welcome. My dad, I always say that my dad taught me rejection by making me a Mets and Jets fan. He was just like, look, I don't want to explain to you that birds die. I'm just going to show you failure and you'll just put it all together.
That's right. He wants to make you strong. It's like I used to tell audiences all the time, Dan. You know, a lot of people would say, Russell, are you going to make your kids an Eagles fan? This is before the Super Bowl. I feel like that's a form of child abuse. And I said, no, I want him to learn to be resilient early in life. You know, you got to pick yourself back up. You got to keep moving forward, Donnie. You know, so I felt like I was doing him a service. But the problem is that we won the Super Bowl.
Oh, now it's all
everything is a garbage fire ever since.
Now he thinks it's always going to be that great. And that's even worse. I will say before we get started that I feel like baseball games are how like my dad broke bad news to me because first of all, bad news is happening on the field. And then also it's perfect for a father and son because there's no eye contact.
Right.
It's perfect. So you just look forward and be like, oh, they look pretty good tonight. Your mother and I are separating. Is that a new pitcher? That's weird. Like I had a friend who was a Yankee fan. He actually came out of the closet.
Hold on a second.
My friend came out of the closet to his dad I think it was like the year 2000. They're watching a game and he's like, how do I say this? And not making eye contact. It's perfect. And his dad goes, hey, Jeter looks good out there. And my friend goes, Jeter looks good everywhere.
Oh.
I mean, so the baseball game, if you ever want to talk to Rocco about anything really important, this is it. Team. My dad gave me the birds and the bees talk.
There's a lot of action on that slider. When a man and a woman love each other.
It was at a hockey game. He gave me the birds and bees. It was a sporting event. It wasn't the birds and bees. It was the Devils and the Wild. And we were watching the game and the Devils are playing the Wild. And my dad said, no, sometimes you get a devil on your shoulder and you feel a little wild and wear a condom. I'm like, that doesn't, what does that have to do with?
Whoa.
What does that have to do with the game? I don't
Offsides.
understand.
Yeah, offsides, Dad.
Like sometimes she's gonna want you to pull the goalie. I'm like, I don't want to hear.
Okay, hey, wait a second. And then you're gonna go to a shootout. Sometimes you're in a rush. Sometimes it takes a little while as you get older, and
sometimes you
get 2 points for
medication
the loss. No, I love that. I just love the idea, and thank you for the advice. So I know to take Rocco to a game, and they'd be like, "Hey, there's some good action on that slider. The tumor's malignant, you know." So.
Bad.
Speaking of action,
that was brilliant. So now, Dan. Thank you for that. I love talking Phillies Mets, but that was great. That was just about baseball and life. That was even better. Now, it is time to cook, brother. Oh, yeah. And fireworks, explosions. And you are going to give us the hashtag Dinner's Ready Live version of one of the most traditional springtime summer baseball standards there is, and everyone's favorite, hot dogs, but not just any hot dogs. Tonight, we are going to do your version of New York versus Chicago hot dogs, and that is awesome. And joining us once again, we are welcoming her to the show. Upstairs in our kitchen is my very real, actual human wife, Dara DeVito Gutin, joining us to cook along with us. Give it up for me, Mama Dara.
Daddy. Nice to see you.
And Dara is going to cook along with you, Dan, upstairs, while she makes the special food needs version for me and my stupid allergies. So this way, I can still tries me both kind of dogs at the end and crown a champion dog.
Let's
So
do
I'm
it.
so excited, and I can't wait. So please, Dan, this is where I pass the baton to you, and I ask you to lead us through your amazing recipes. Go ahead, Dan.
So I'm gonna channel my inner Russ Gutin tonight.
Be careful.
You've seen Russ host live in AC when it's a packed crowd. He comes out with a lot of energy and just kind of rips the room open and goes crazy. So we're gonna do that tonight. We're gonna go fast there. We're gonna act like we're in a restaurant. We need to get these things out. Now I'm making New York and Chicago style dogs. I'm not making a Philly style dog because that's a cheesesteak. So
yes, there is no such thing.
What I'm going to do is do New York and Chicago. Now, Dara, we're going to have to like follow along really fast here because I'm going to be doing them at the same time because some of them require some simultaneous stuff.
Ooh.
I got it.
I know. She's so confident.
Degree of difficulty, though. I like it. Lightning round, motherfuckers.
Let's go. Ready? All right. So first of all, Dara, what we're going to do first is we're going to make our buns for the Chicago style dog. Now, real quick, the Chicago style dog has a lot of vegetables in it. It's called running it through the garden. That's what they call it. So we're gonna have tomatoes, pickles, onions, some celery salt. We're gonna have some additional things that I'll show you how to do. A little bit of mustard on that. They like to in Chicago. Now, for New York, we're gonna be using onions, the sweet onion relish sauce that you actually get from that dirty street truck. But there's something about the New York water, the failure, and the traffic together into this beautiful hot dog. So I'm going to show you how to make both ways. But first, Dara, we're going to make our buns from scratch with our poppy seeds.
Whoa.
So poppy seeds buns. Can you eat poppy seeds, Russ?
I think I can.
You can have poppy seeds. This is what I had to, I didn't have poppy seeds, so he's getting everything topping on it. So it's going to have a little bit, as you know, Dan, I always got to make it a little different.
Everything but the bagel on topping.
Right.
Yeah.
Russ, can you is water okay?
Yes, water. I'm not. As
but we're going to be using this.
Water.
It has poppy seeds in it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. You know what? It says bagel on it. New York bagel. I like it. We're going to make it work. Okay.
I like it.
Okay.
So first thing we're going to do is we're going to boil our dogs. Now, New York.
Oh, we're boiling? You didn't tell me we were boiling.
Curveball. Baseball reference.
Curveball. That's what my mom used to do, though. I love a boiled dog.
So that's how New York and Chicago does it. So all we need, Dara, is about 1 inch of water in our pan. So basically, we're going to just cover the pan, coat it with water, and then heat it on high. Can you do that?
Ooh.
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent.
I have my pan right here.
Brilliant.
I have about, let's say, I actually put too much. It's about 2 cups of water, but I'll probably only need about a cup. I'm going to go about a cup of water.
You also look fantastic in your jersey. Despite the logo, you look fantastic.
Russ, this is the best thing because it's one of those like meshy stretch things. It's like good for a fat stage, good for a skinny stage. Like,
Right, yeah. I can't wear my red jersey anymore. It's too small.
I fluctuate by the day. So
Yeah. Pre-pandemic, could wear the red jersey. Can't wear it anymore.
Russell, you're going to have to zip it if I'm going to keep up.
Sorry.
There, we got water in the pan basically to cover it, and then we're going to keep that on high. Can you do that?
Got it.
Brilliant.
On it.
All right, so we're going to heat that on high. Now, is your oven preheated to 350?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So at home, oven to 350. So we're going to make our poppy seed buns, and we're also going to start boiling our dog. Now, we're not going to put the dogs on until we got the boil. But I will tell you right now, what I'm doing, Dara, it's okay if you don't have it this way, because I know you have special dogs for your special dog. I'm going skinny Nathan's hot dogs, famous Nathan hot dogs from New York. That's where you go to Coney Island, you get your Nathan hot dog.
Oh, yeah.
See some applause there. And then we have, in Chicago, it's a thicker dog here. So you can get different styles of dog, but you get just thicker kind of classic look right there, like a Sabrettes or any other kind of style that go in there. So that's a thicker for the Chicago, skinny for the New York. So we're going to wait for that to boil.
Brilliant. Can I chime in? Dad, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but my grandpa Arthur, or was it Papo, had the Nathans on Coney Island back.
No, we had
Hebrew National.
Hebrew National. Sorry, Hebrew
had-
National.
One side of the family had it on Long Beach, and the other side had the one right by the steeplechase in Coney Island.
Right. So when you see classic pictures of Coney Island back from like the 50s, right, Dad? The 50s and 60s. If you see Hebrew National, that was the two sides of the family. That was our hot dog place.
Right. That's we did Hebrew National.
That's amazing. So you're going to be a good barometer then to see how I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, okay, so Dara, while our water is heating up, what we're gonna do is actually start buttering our buns. And it's, by the way, it's really hard to not make dirty references.
Yeah, no, you're buttering my wife's buns? Hold on a second.
No, Russell,
What is this?
earlier before this, Dan was sending me messages about prepping, and he's like, do you have a brush? Do you have a butter brush?
Whoa.
Okay, good. We're going to chop together. We're going to do it all together. That's the fun part. I said, Dan, I'm married.
Wow.
Dara, those were private. All right, so.
You think you know somebody.
I have the greatest thing you've ever seen, which is melted butter.
Yes.
I have a brush. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to coat the outside of 2 hot dog buns. So I'm gonna move my laptop down right here just so you can see it a little bit better.
Love it.
I have mine, my little red one.
So
I already buttered my buns.
Of course you did. You always skip that.
Well, no, because this is why I have to explain. So his special buns have to come out of the freezer because they're gluten free. So I have to kind of heat them up twice so he doesn't get a frozen bun.
Right.
Wow.
Capiche?
Yes.
I have a frozen bun whenever I take a Greyhound, and the ride's too long. Sorry.
Russ and his special buns. All right, so I'm buttering outside and really get in there with the butter.
That's what she said.
So hard. It's so hard to not.
Yeah.
Appropriate.
No, I love it. No. Yeah, I love a triple entendre.
Now, what you want to do is channel your inner Bob Ross, the painter. And you get really soft when you say this. You say, we're just gonna butter some happy buns.
Yeah, you're gonna happy butter this bun.
Happy butter. And now,
I got too hard of a boil going on. Hold on.
Oh.
That's what she said.
My God,
Hey,
Dara, no one needs to hear about your college days.
Listen, I already covered that on other episodes.
No.
Right.
Listen to the other episode.
now, Dara, we've said this before, and it's a lesson for everyone at home. How much butter should we put on?
How much butter should we put on? Too much.
Yes,
and salt.
exactly.
Always.
Damn well, please.
Yeah, that's right.
People who hold back in the butter are holding back from joy. So, we're buttering buns. Now, Dara, we're going to just put the poppy seeds, sprinkle them right on top,
Ooh.
on the outsides of the buns.
This is
Step forward so you
awesome.
can see it. Outside of the buns, outside of the bun. Get a little bit on the inside, that's okay too. Boom, bang, boom.
Hold on, I have a Rapunzel that's looking for her Sisu.
Hi,
Hold
Sophia.
on.
Hi, Sophia.
Hi, so.
Sophia.
Guess what doesn't affect this one? Melatonin. Doesn't knock her out. Every other
Doesn't
cat
work.
on the planet, nothing. No effect.
Impervious.
Honey, these are
Really,
just
it's
some
really
vitamins.
scary for the future.
All right, so my buns right here are poppy.
Brilliant.
Both sides. I'm gonna put
Beautiful.
them here, and I'm gonna put them right in the oven. And we're gonna cook those for about 10 minutes while we move on to throwing our dogs on and starting to make our New York style.
Oh, yeah.
Very exciting.
Brilliant.
So Dara,
So-
about 10
I'm
minutes.
behind
Other than that,
because of Rapunzel. Hold
You
on.
don't want it to be too toasted, just nice and warm. So about 10 minutes, you can do a little bit less if you want to do that. I'm just gonna
Got it.
put it right here. Okay, now New York style dogs. I'm in New York. boy.
Hey, you, New York, Criscopo, boopity boppity.
What makes New York hot dogs famous is the New York water. Now I am in New Haven, Connecticut right now. We moved and we're here.
Yeah, it's New York adjacent.
New York adjacent. The first thing I'm gonna do is I see my water boiling behind me for my dogs. I'm gonna put all 4 dogs in here. I'm making 2 and 2 tonight just for the visual aspect.
Lovely, lovely.
So when you have the heat going, keep it boiling, keep it on high. You can cook those for about 10 to 15 minutes. You can reduce the heat if you're not ready with your recipe.
Oh, okay.
It's going and going, but you feel like they're
Simmer.
gonna get cooked.
Have it simmer.
It's very hard to overcook a boiled dog, so you can keep it going and reduce the heat if you need to. So for right now, my 4 dogs are in there. They're ready to go. They're doing their thing. My buns are in the oven. Let's move on to this beautiful
Mazel
next
tov. Sorry.
You're a ridiculous human.
I love both of you. Okay, so we're gonna make our sweet onion relish sauce. The first thing we're gonna do, Dara, is grab an onion.
Okay.
Grab a knife.
Yep.
Now we're gonna have this onion, okay, and we're gonna use half of it for our New York dog and half for our Chicago style dog. And there's different ways to slice each, and I'll explain. So,
Okay.
New York, we're doing what we call an umbrella cut. No, sorry, not umbrella cut, a rainbow cut.
I was about to say rainbow. Yeah. Same difference. What's
No,
the
we're an
difference?
inclusive show. It's a rainbow cut.
Exactly. Dara, do you know how to do a rainbow cut?
I do.
You want to show? Can you move your camera down so you can show them how to do
You
it?
just do it like this,
Right.
like a rainbow.
Like a rainbow.
Yeah, so show us. Let's see.
What am I, remedial?
LeVar Burton.
I'm not moving.
Rainbow.
I'm not moving this camera.
Dara, remember that the people watching could be remedial. They're not actually.
There's nobody that's remedial.
Yeah, listen, audience at home.
Everybody watching.
just claim that
Everybody
you are
watching taught me how to
remedial
cook.
and,
Here, is this your rainbow cut?
That's a beautiful rainbow. There
Yes,
you go.
that's your rainbow right there.
Dara is great. Dara, the reluctant chef. Dara, at home, can you show us how to make it? No, why would I do that?
Boopity boppity.
Why would I be on a cooking show and show people how to cook? What am I?
You know
crazy?
what, Dan? If somebody can't figure out what a rainbow cut is, then they're not going to make this anyway.
Good point. Good point. So
It's
how did you?
always best to concede. That's how I argue with Dara.
That's true. So how are we doing the rainbow? Can you show me one more time. I forget.
Oh my God,
Oh wow.
Rainbow.
Condescending.
Yeah, but how did you do it? You're only showing me the end result.
I love it.
What do you mean how they did it? I cut it in half and then I cut it.
What do you mean you cut it in half and then you cut it?
Oh my
Don't
God.
make me.
This is dirty. I didn't know. Hey, welcome to Hell's Kitchen. I hope you like the picture of Gordon Ramsay and the Swedish chef. In that picture I used for our ad tonight, Dan, you're Gordon Ramsay and I'm the Muppet, just to be clear.
I like my quote would be like, more butter, and Dara's would be like, I don't want to. Here's the rainbow cut. So we're gonna only do that half of it's a rainbow cut, and the other one we're gonna dice it with my Dara. The other one we're gonna dice with my patented accordion cut, and I'll teach you how to do that next.
Oh
An
boy.
accordion cut. Okay, you're going to have to.
They call that the Weird Al.
First of all, First of all, I think you're making up names. That's number one.
Well, I patented it. So
I think you're making stuff up.
That's literally how
Move your camera down. First of all, I love that you have like the little sweat thing.
No, he
like
has the wristband. Yeah, no, we're gonna play.
He's got the wristband.
No, it's actually
McEnroe over here who's about to.
Wristband. All right, so Dara.
Show me the whatever cut. What are you doing?
We're still making the onion one, the other one. Hold on.
Oh my God!
Dara is so patient. That's what I love about it.
Your show should be called Dinner's Ready Later.
Oh!
Wow!
Oh, Dara's oven was preheated to 350.
I got a script show for Dara. It's called Dinner's Ready Loud.
This is my favorite episode that we do because I just sit back and watch it.
Dara, I got my rainbows in the pan, and I'm gonna add now. Let me just make sure I have the right measurement. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of vegetable oil.
Okay. Tablespoon of vegetable oil coming up.
All right. Heat your pan on medium while you're at it.
Oh, I didn't realize it was a Mike Piazza. That's awesome. He's a Norristown, Pennsylvania alum. So we love him. We love him here in Philly. We always were big fans of Mike Piazza. We watched him grow up here in the news and in the local papers.
Can I tell you an exclusive Mike Piazza story really quick?
Oh, yeah, sure. I love it. I loved Mike Piazza when I was a kid.
This is a 100% real, true story.
Awesome.
The night before the Subway Series with the Yankees,
my
father and I went to a Devils game, and on the way home, we stopped at Tower Video. The Tower Records used to have a video section.
Right.
For video. And we're getting a video, and my dad elbows me. He goes, Dan, look. Now, it's like 10:30 at night, the night before the game. And
night before the Subway Series started. Wow.
He goes, Dan, look who it is. And I say, I see her, because I saw the most beautiful woman on the planet, right?
Right.
No. He goes next to her. And there was Mike Piazza at Tower Video at 10:30 at night. Now, I said to myself, what is a pro athlete doing at 10:30 at night?
Right.
Renting a video. This is, by the way, before Netflix and chill. Okay. Right. So I walk up there and I go, he signs my Tower Video receipt. He walks out. And I say to the cashier, I said, I cannot believe I just met Mike Piazza. And he goes, who? I can't believe I just met Miss October from Playboy.
Right.
Let me tell you something. The next day, Mike Piazza went 0 for 5.
That's right. No, I grew up a Yankees and a Phillies fan because my family's originally from New York. I know every single out and inning of the Subway Series. I lived it.
He went 0 for 5, and me and my father were the only ones in the world who knew why.
Oh my God! You could have sold your story.
He had no legs left. No legs left.
Brilliant. What a great series that was, though.
Dara, we got vegetable oil. We have onions. Now what we're gonna do next is add the ketchup.
Wonderful. That was a great story.
We're adding ketchup. So add about maybe half a cup of ketchup. The ketchup is really, you gotta lay it on thick there.
All right, you got it.
Okay. Ketchup, vegetable oil, onions. Now that gets us our sweet onion sauce. Now it's okay if you add a little more vegetable oil, get a little more liquid. It's okay because in the street truck, it's all sopping and disgusting, and that's what you need. Now the next thing we're going to do is add half a cup of water, just a little bit more water to that onion pan. So we have the vegetable oil and a little bit more water.
Okay.
Just a little bit to give it that texture. Now, by the way, if you're losing some water on your pan, which I am with my dogs, you can go ahead and add a little bit more water.
Okay.
So we're going to reduce the heat on my dogs. I don't want to cook them too fast. So I'm reducing the heat on my dogs. Dogs are going.
How much water am I adding to the pan with the onions and the ketchup?
About half a cup.
About half a cup.
And I want to say that this is brilliant. I love these styles of hot dogs. The only other style of hot dogs that I'm aware of is a Pittsburgh hot dog, which I'm not sure all the details of that. And then in LA, the style of hot dog was
the
wrapped in
wrapped
bacon,
hot dog.
wrapped in bacon street hot dog outside of the Wiltern, and where Dara and I worked at Hollywood Highland, you know, where the Kodak Theater was. Oh my goodness. I would get off the subway from work, Dara. I would eat a bacon wrapped hot dog. I'd go upstairs and then we'd walk home.
That sounds incredible.
Oh, especially when you're super drunk outside of the Wiltern after a great concert.
And they put some sort of mystery sauce on the bun. It was,
Yeah.
You would see the bacon wrapped hot dogs on this makeshift grill
And
that she made out of like
Stadium had it,
aluminum.
too. Dodger
Oh
Stadium.
God! It was,
The one time me and Melissa Marsala went to see that fundraiser that Ben Stiller had at the Wiltern with Tenacious D and Patton Oswalt, and then we ate, like, literally each of us, both of us each ate like 3 of those crazy hot dogs outside of the Wiltern.
Oh, it sounds amazing. Now, Dara, I'm going to teach you a secret recipe. This is a secret thing to get that extra sweetness.
Ooh.
Honey. Honey is what they use on the hot dog style, on the New York style hot dog. A little bit of honey. Do you have honey?
I do.
We do. Is that the secret?
That's the secret. To get a little bit of that sweetness, I add a little bit of honey to the pan. And then you're also going to add, at this point, you're going to add your hot sauce or sriracha or whatever you have. I have
Frank's Red Hot, whichever you want to do.
Whatever you got. Whatever you got. Just a little bit of it in there. Just to give it that kick. It's got that nice little New York.
Hold on.
Me off in traffic, you know, push.
How much honey am I putting in? Just like a little something?
Just a little bit of it, that kick. It depends on your hotness of what you like.
And a little bit of honey and a little bit of hot, I guess, is probably, oh, wow. Ooh.
A little sweet, a little hot.
I had no idea that that was part of it.
Now we're going to stir that up. We're going to stir that up.
Hold on.
Keep stirring, keep stirring. Also, make sure you're checking on your buns in the oven, making sure that they're not overly cooked.
That smells really good. That's almost like, it smells like a homemade barbecue.
Okay, I'm gonna check my buns. Oh, they look good.
Oh, God.
Are they poppy seeds?
Good.
All right.
Put them away. Nobody needs to see any of that.
All right. Dara, so
Yes,
what
sir.
we're actually going to do is we're going to make our dog in about 2 minutes. We're actually going to make our New York style dog. Then we're going to switch over to make our Chicago style dog, okay? So
Okay.
as long as your dogs are still going in the background, your sweet onion sauce doesn't take that much time. It's only about 8 minutes. We already started it, so we're almost there. So we're just going to get our dogs ready. So our buns are ready.
Okay.
You don't have to do anything with the bun in New York. The buns are cold. They're coming from a bag. The guy doesn't use gloves. Uncomfortable. Look, there are no health ratings for hot
So I
dogs.
just want to clarify. The New York one comes with the sweet onion sauce, and
Right.
it's not the one with the poppy seeds.
No, that's the Chicago style.
Okay.
All right. Now, I will say that I don't like sauerkraut, but you could put sauerkraut. It's an option at the street truck if you want to add that on top. But you have to go sweet onion relish and then sauerkraut. Sauerkraut is the wig on the bald man's head. You know, like it's obvious that it wasn't really, you know what I mean?
No, definitely. And I do like sauerkraut, though. So either way, I think it would be delicious.
So, our sweet onion relish is almost there. So I'm going to give it a little bit more. And I'm going to grab my skinny dogs. Look at how perfectly cooked that is.
Ooh.
Cooked and boiled.
Delicious.
I know I keep saying that, but that's just, Dan, again, I'm just so amazed at how you create.
Here's Russell's special wiener.
Thank you. Thank you. Everything about me has special needs, including my wiener.
It also comes with instructions.
Yeah, it's got that little medical bracelet, you know, like the diabetics.
It comes with a pamphlet.
Yeah. Break in case of emergency. You know, it's got my emergency contacts tattooed on my wiener.
Now, Dara, your rainbow onions should be a little bit thinner right now. They might be a little skinnier as they get cooked a little bit more.
Thank you for noticing.
So you want that. You want that skinniness right there, so it can fit the skinniness of the dog. Now, are we ready to plate?
Sure, yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, now, got to use tongs because you know that in New York they dip into everything and put it in there. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna grab this pan. It's still sizzling hot.
Ooh.
Stirring it as I go. Oh, it smells delicious, right? The sweet and the hot.
It does smell
I can
really
actually
good.
smell it down here because the kitchen is right above the office here, so I can actually smell it because I use my nasal spray so I can smell.
Right here, you're lifting it up, and you don't want too much drip off that, so it's just all coming together. So
Yep.
it's all one.
Delicious.
Looks great.
Ooh.
Plating it.
Holy
Now,
shit.
just like the New York truck. Perfect. Look at that. Wait till it drips. You don't want too much liquid because you don't want to sog down the dog.
Yes. No.
And-
Don't, yeah. Please do not sog down the dog.
Don't want to.
I don't want to
No,
start.
I think that's the 11th commandment. Thou shalt not sog down the dog.
So here is your New York dog and a sweet onion.
Ooh,
delicious
it looks
sauce.
like Gray's papaya.
Looks like Gray's papaya. Right there. Beautiful, Dara. You killed it. That was great.
I would
Now-
never have ate if it hadn't been for Gray's papaya because the hot dogs used to be 50 cents. So when I was in college, you know, I would just eat 3 hot dogs for lunch, 3 hot dogs for dinner. It was a very good budget.
So this is, the ketchup is already on there. I like to add a little bit extra ketchup just at the end, just to give it that,
Yeah.
that nice little extra there.
Hot dogs require ketchup.
They do. You know, people like the mustard. I'm not really a mustard guy. I know that's debatable, but not really
It
for me.
depends. Yeah.
But I will say, we are going to do mustard on the Chicago style dog because that is how they do it.
Yeah, and also I like mustard certainly with a pork chop. I like mustard. I like mustard on a hot dog. I like mustard on a burger. Oh man, I actually like French fries with mustard. A friend of mine used to do that, and I'd be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" But then I got hip to it. It's pretty good.
Abomination. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right,
Mustard
Dara,
on a French fry.
Dara, how are your buns looking in the oven? Are they done?
My buns look great.
I think so.
You know.
I'm a satisfied customer. I don't know what the Yelp ratings are, but Uber
They got a little extra.
whatever. It's a smooth ride, or whatever.
This is my seeded bun.
Oh, that looks great.
Ooh,
That looks excellent.
holy shit!
I can't find my. Hold on.
Oh,
That's delicious.
well, just feel around. You'll get it.
That even made that gluten-free crap taste delicious.
That's your specialty, honey.
It's true.
All right. So our one more time, take a look at the.
Brilliant. Oh,
Beautiful. That's really beautiful, Dan. Good job.
There's the picture. Perfect. Okay.
yeah.
Now,
No screenshot.
Dara, now we're gonna move on to running it through the garden for our Chicago style. Are you ready?
Ooh, running it through the
Running it through
I
the
love
garden.
Running it through the garden. Now.
So what made-up chopping onion term do you have for this?
This is what I call my patented
Patented.
accordion chop. So the accordion chop is like this. We're gonna go across the halved onion, but we're not gonna go all the way through, Dara. We're just gonna go across. Like this. Don't go all the way through. Don't go all the way down. Just do about halfway through, halfway through, halfway through, halfway through. Now, Russ, I know you have a beautiful melodic voice.
That's right.
So let's pretend we're at a French restaurant real quick, right?
Okay.
And you're coming around to the table to sing your beautiful opera.
Yes.
I have an accordion. And that is the accordion.
Right. And
Right.
well, it's more like Weird Al, though. When I think of the accordion,
Right.
I think of like, you know.
Just
So you want me to sing a French
there you go, there's the accordion. Dara, did you do the accordion? So little,
I did. I don't know if I did it right.
and then we're gonna turn. You did it. That looks
Mine's
good.
breaking up a little bit. Okay.
Perfect. Then we're going to turn, and then we're just going to go opposite side against the lines. And now we're just going to create a perfect little chopped onion situation.
Absolutely lovely.
Now, if you want to do it your own way, it's basically we're just chopping onions. But I just wanted to show off for a second.
No, that's okay. It's a show. You're supposed to show off. There's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. So that's.
I do a similar thing where I cut through,
Yeah.
and then I cut in the middle, and then it just kind of all falls apart as I chop across.
A blooming onion, as they say.
It's all cheater chopping. It's good. It's all cheater chopping. It's
The idea with the Chicago style is that you just want it fine. You just want it fine chopped onions. You're just going to sprinkle the onions in there. So,
Lots of onions. Any game that you ever watch of any team of Chicago, just like Philadelphia, they always show shots of the restaurants making the cheesesteaks. When it's Chicago, they always show the Chicago style hot dogs and sausages. Always.
But Dan, are we keeping this onion raw or are we cooking it?
raw. Everything is raw in the garden.
Brilliant. Love it. I even love it at 7-Eleven when you're drunk as shit and you go into the whole, disgusting onion, thing that they have. I love it. Raw onions on a hot dog is the bomb.
All right.
Okay, so
Dara,
I don't need my pan anymore, or I do need my pan?
nothing. As long as you got
Nothing.
Ooh.
you're good. Now, Dara, we're gonna do a tomato. Now, I want to explain something to the audience about what running it through the garden is. So what we're gonna do is actually with our buns. Okay, once we chop this, we're actually going to create a tomato border on one end of the bun, and we're actually going to create a pickle border on the other end of the bun.
What?
And in the middle is where we're going to have our hot peppers, our celery salt. So our mustard, hot peppers, and celery salt and onions.
What?
So we have a tomato on one side, we have the pickles on the other. That creates a vegetable border within the bun. So how do we do that? We need to cut things thin so that it goes within the bun. So what we're gonna do is take a tomato. I'm gonna cut this tomato in half.
Wow.
Now here's the tricky thing. We're trying to, I would use a thinner knife for the tomato because we're trying to get a really finite chop. So I'm gonna go on the side here, just do a little skinny tomato. You'll see right here. So it's a skinny thin tomato because it's actually gonna border our bun. So I'm having the tomato, and then I'm actually going to slice it while it's on its backside, buns up.
Buns up.
Buns up. Slice this across here. Slice this across here, and again, it's going to create this nice little thin tomato that's going to border.
I love it. I love the tomato border, and then the pickle border. If only Altar Boys had known about the pickle border.
Oh, Russell, zip it.
Now I know I don't curl my fingers that much when I cut. I've been criticized for that. But it's like baseball. It's however you hold the bat. It doesn't matter as long as you get a run.
As long as you make contact with the ball. I don't really care how you hit it.
Now I
wish our center fielder for the Phillies could hit it. Everybody else can, but Roman Quinn can't hit the ball for shit.
So I'm making 2 dogs. So I have about this much tomato. So about a half a tomato. And again, it's just enough to border everything. Now the easy part about the pickle, on the pickle side of things, is all you're doing is cutting a pickle down the middle in half. That's all it is.
Awesome.
So I have a Vlasic pickle right here.
Vlasic, I used to love that dude. Remember on the prices?
I don't have the big pickles. I got little pickles, but that's all right.
It's a little crunch.
That's fine. There's a way I'll show you how to do that too. So this is really good because it's going to go alongside the bun, right?
Darren, did you just say I have a little pickle?
No, I said I have a little.
Oh, you said you have a. Yeah, because I've been told that I have a perfectly proportionate and adequate pickle.
I'm talking about your pickle. I'm sorry, I'm having a snack.
There should be a challenge to not, because it's very hard not to make any of these jokes. I feel
this is the most sexually charged cooking segment that we've ever done. That's for sure.
Dan, I work in industrial supply. All we talk about all day is screws, nuts,
bolts,
lubricant, rods.
By the way,
vibrators.
Dara, is that the most Italian?
Impregnated balls.
That's the most Italian occupation I've ever heard of.
Industrial supply, yeah. Export and import, yeah.
Just say mafia. It's fine. It's,
yeah. What we say here in America is mafia.
No, we use that for
No. She actually works for an industrial supply company.
Yes. Let's not say the name so I don't get fired. All right, moving on.
Yeah, supply and demand.
Yeah, supply and demand. Yeah.
All right, let's make our border. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put the dog in first, so then we can create our border around it, okay? So the dog goes in there. Let me grab my tongs.
Sophia, do you want to come in here and watch and help me?
Do you see my dogs in first?
We got a rest.
I see. So wait, you put the dog in the middle first, and I thought we made the border first.
No, we're gonna do the border inside of it. Now the dog is in there, then we'll make the border around.
The borders border the dog country. It's the borders of the dog country.
Yes.
So please don't act like you know what you're talking about.
Dara, I'm actually gonna add my mustard now.
Ooh.
On this one, because again, Chicago style, you're looking at the mustard. So we're gonna add the mustard right here. Add the mustard right here. Now we got our dog. Now that can stand on its own. All right, probably see fun. We got our dog. But now we're gonna run it through the garden. So
Run it through the garden.
Run it through the garden.
First thing we're gonna do on one side is have pickle. So that's gonna go right on here. You can pick whatever side you'd like. Okay, I'm making two, right? So I'm gonna do it one side, the other side. And then the other side is gonna be your tomatoes. So nice and sliced in. So now that they fit perfectly next to the dog.
I didn't even realize this. This is so great.
Now, there's a big place in Chicago called Portillo's that my wife and I love going to. And
I've heard of that place.
Yeah, well, that's what they show on the TV a lot of the time.
They do this extremely well. So
Rocco, come here.
now, you have your border of tomatoes, my thinly sliced tomatoes, my border of pickle. Now I'm going to take the chopped onions. I'm going to take the chopped onions and just line them over the top, over the hot dog and the mustard.
Okay.
I don't love raw onion that much, but on a hot dog, on a Chicago style dog, you really got to go for it.
You got to. Yeah, I honestly, hot dogs with raw onions is where it's at. I don't know how you could do it otherwise.
So I have my chopped onions. Now you see it right here. Now,
oh, it's like the Italian flag.
It looks exactly like the Italian. Exactly. And there's a big Italian population in Chicago, so that's maybe where it comes from. Now, another key ingredient, and this is a little extra thing, this really makes a Chicago style dog, is celery salt.
Ooh,
celery salt
got it.
Here.
Yeah, we got that.
We're gonna sprinkle it on top, and that gives it a really nice sprinkle right there. It gives
Excellent.
that beautiful seasoning that you're looking for in Chicago. Now you've run it all through the garden. Am I missing anything? Oh, I am missing something. And this is something that also gives it that hotness, that sweetness. Jalapeno peppers. You can also use what they call sport peppers, with these little small peppers. They're really hard to find.
You can have the bite of the side. It doesn't have any.
Yeah, it's really hard.
No, I used to get those on burgers at Astro Burger in LA.
Russell, just so you know, Rocco's going to take one bite of each one of your dogs.
That's okay. I want him to try them first, and then I'm going to try them. I used to get those exact kind of jalapenos I used to get on burgers in LA. Oh, the best.
These are these are solid. So that's going to go on top as well. So you want to have that hot pepper up top, and then the celery salt underneath it, the onion underneath it. So it's got that whole hot to sweet crunch getting down to the mustard. Now, you could add ketchup on top just to make it all come together as one. I think for one of them, I'll add some ketchup on top just to make it all beautiful right here.
Beautiful.
Mustard, because I think if my wife eats this later, she can have everything there in place. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is our...
Look how beautiful.
Yeah, that is a Chicago style dog running it through the garden.
They look so good.
Wow.
Okay, Rocco's going to try a bite of the New York first.
You want to give yourself a nice summertime platter right there.
Yeah, welcome to the show. Welcome Rocco to the show. He's going to do the taste test first.
Hey, Rocco.
Hi. What do you think about that one?
Ladies and gentlemen, New York style, Chicago style.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay.
So what did he just bite first? What did he bite first?
He tried the New York first.
Okay, so that's okay. You like that?
Well, you know, he's not that adventurous when it comes to food.
No, this is good, though. We're trying to expand his...
Is that everything seasoning?
It is. I don't even know if you can... Hold on, let me take... what did I lose? A pickle?
Yeah, pickle.
Damn it.
I like a lick.
Okay, try to take a bite of that.
I love the New York style, the sweet and the hot.
Will you just take a bite of all of it?
You know, the thing about the Chicago style dog, it's a lot to deal with, right? Like,
Yeah, it's a lot.
Pickle, you have to really look at how you're doing it.
Yeah, when you get it in Chicago, do they put it in wax paper or anything?
They do. They put it in a basket.
Chicago's
The basket.
great.
Oh, he loves the Chicago, guys.
Oh, Rocco, you like the Chicago?
All right, hold on. Rocco, you stay up here on there. I'll be
Hey,
right back.
Rocco.
Hey, Rocco.
Hi.
Man,
Good to see you, buddy.
Rocco liked the Chicago better.
Probably because it had more stuff on it.
Oh,
And maybe the
Okay,
topic
so- all right, Dan. So they brought me a giant bib,
Love
so
it.
we don't get anything on the nice wardrobe. You know what I'm talking about, Piazza. Okay, so
Eat off of the sides that the opposite side.
I'm gonna try the New York first. I'm gonna try the New York first.
You like it?
It tastes just like braised papaya. That reminds me of my college days. Oh my God, it brought me
Eat
back.
the other side that he didn't eat.
Okay. Now we're gonna
I just love Russ admitting he
Chicago
likes
dog?
Put all of it in
humor.
there.
That Chicago's great.
It's good, right? Do you like the pickle and tomato as well?
Yeah, I like the pickles.
Yeah, pickle's good. Nice and salty, right?
Holy moly.
Rocco, I like your hair, man. You're growing it out.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
All right. Well, I have to say, the New York style made me so nostalgic for my college days at AMDA eating Gray's papaya. But Rocco, you are not wrong. The Chicago dog is an absolute party in your mouth, and everybody's invited. Oh my God, it's like a Paul Pierce Instagram Live. It's amazing. That thing absolutely blew my mind. So I would have to say, it's the Chicago dog, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Is the champion. Give it up for the Chicago dog.
Russ, I was just saying before, there's no way you were going to have a New York anything be a champion. There's no way.
Oh, but well, now listen, like I said, I was born in New York on 23rd Street at NYU Hospital, and I grew up a Yankees and a Phillies fan. My two favorite baseball players when I was a kid was Don Mattingly and Mike Schmidt. I thought they were the greatest, I thought they were the two greatest baseball players that had ever lived. And they're up there. They're not the best, but in my mind, they were. So it's funny that when you bring up the
Run it through
series,
the garden.
you know, I think of the Subway series and all those memories, but it wasn't until the Yankees and the Phillies played against each other in 2009, Dan, and I was doing an absolutely awful gig in Sacramento. It was horrible. The whole situation was horrible. The audiences were horrible. And the only thing that was getting me through it was not only the Phillies-Yankees World Series, but it was the moment where I knew that even though I did love the Yankees because it made me think of my Grandma B, and it made me think of all the times growing up and my Grandpa Charlie, there's something about the Phillies where I grew up because I love the Eagles so much and I love all the other teams. But the only dual sort of relationship with sports I had was with the Yankees and the Phillies. But when they played each other, that was the moment when I just felt my gut rooting for Philly every at bat, because it wasn't just about winning the baseball game. It was about, you know, my friends' parents who had a restaurant down the street from the stadium. It was about all the pizza shops and it was when they win, there's something about this area that the entire tri-state area wins. everything. Like you saw me do the bits about the Super Bowl, just everything. So there was this moment where it was like, I do love the Yankees because it makes me feel nostalgic for a certain part of my life, but where I grew up and the feeling that I have for Philadelphia itself, that was the moment that I knew I was truly 4 for 4 here in Philly.
Russ, I think that whole story was beautiful, by the way, and it kind of reminds me of like when we did the Dennis Reddy show. You know, it starts with the food, and then all of a sudden, like, reminds you of all these things. So, like, it starts with the food, and all of a sudden, you get nostalgic of like when you ate the New York dog, you thought about college. When you had the Chicago dog, you're thinking about a vacation you might have taken or something like that, and that leads to the ultimate conversation. So to me, it's like the food, the comedy.
Food is sense memory. Food essentially, like when it's snowing out or it's cold out, I want pasta with red sauce.
Yeah.
After I shovel snow, like it's just what I desire. It's just how I think about my mom making the giant vat of meatballs and sausages and the big ziti pasta. You know, so
that's called rigatoni.
Rigatoni. That's right. Thank you.
I wasn't correct.
So yeah, no.
Guys, what you just said was so beautiful and so lovely. But can we talk about the real winner of this situation, which was this celery salt?
Celery salt. Oh my God!
You know that I never had this before. I mean, I've had it like on a Bloody Mary, but I never had it in my pantry. I bought it just for this.
I've only
this is the winner.
Yeah, it's extremely underrated, but it makes the huge difference. And it's like if you're making things, you have to have it authentic, and you have to make sure you're capturing it. And I never knew what that was. Why is it so different than a New York dog?
Right.
Then when we looked up the recipe to make the show, it was the celery salt, and we didn't have it either. We got it, and it made the change. And I said before, like, you know, the Chicago style dog, you see that it's a little bit bigger and it's thicker. It's more of a meal in terms of like I said at Portillo's, it comes in a basket.
Whoa.
It's more of like
so you get all the collateral damage is picked up by the basket.
Pick up the extra pickle, pick up the tomato,
the shrapnel.
Whereas New York, you just grab it from the side of the street. You're handling a cab with it. You know, it's
right.
Like, you know, you're holding it up. You're pissed off about everything going on. You snap it. You're eating it quickly before you get on the subway. It's a different thing. It's a walking hot dog.
It is. No, absolutely. Yeah, no, I used to literally, sometimes I would be between gigs at the old stand-up New York, and then there used to be a room at the Triad. There used to be shows at the Triad Theater. Yeah. So, you know, because AMDA was on the Upper West Side. So I would do a show, leave, go to Grace Papaya, you know, use my budget of $5 for food that week, and eat a 50-cent hot dog, and then go do another set. So, yeah, the second I bit into it, I was transported to the corner of, I believe it's 79th.
Could be. You know, what's interesting is that, like, you know.
No, that's 73rd. I'm sorry. The other stop is Grace Papaya is at the 73rd stop. 72nd. Sorry, 72nd and Broadway.
And there was a Grace Papaya in the West Village that I used to love. And what's interesting about that place is that there's not a lot of tables.
Right.
Because it's a standing thing. You stand up. They have these like great like mango drinks and like.
Oh yeah, no, the slushies are the best. The slushies are the pie.
Standing and you're eating the dog and you're drinking and you're talking, and it's kind of a more active kind of quick thing. Like I said, where Chicago is more sit down, relax, you know, and enjoy the dog. I'm sure there's people out in Chicago being like, you know, I eat mine fast too.
Yeah. No, they eat theirs drunk after a Cubs or a Bears game. I'm sure the same as all of us.
There's also that you can probably imagine in Chicago. There's that feeling of like, what? It's healthy. It's got tomatoes.
It's fine. Yeah. Al Capone used to eat it. It's fine. Yeah.
So, but yeah, the poppy seed bun is really that big difference maker. The celery salt is that big difference maker. You know, the bordering of the tomatoes, and it's interesting, once you have it sitting here, it's all kind of bordering together. It stays there and structures.
The pickle really, to me though, the pickle is like sort of the Ponce de la Resistance.
Yeah, is the best part because it's so easy the way that it supports it, but it's got that sweetness and that crunch to it as well. And that's the thing about the Chicago dog. It's like the textures are amazing because you have the softness of the tomato, you have the dog, the mustard, you have the crunchiness of the onions, and it all comes together, and it's awesome. It's a different experience. I'm always partial to the New York dog, just nostalgia purposes. But you know, I also
the Chicago dog is absolutely totally legit, and I would crown it the champion not only of this episode, but I am hoping, just like you, Dan, in this family and this show, I am hoping that the Chicago dog becomes quite the tradition here in the Gutin family, because I was really blown away by it, and I purposely did not look it up before we did this episode so that I could be genuinely sort of surprised and taken aback by it. So, and I certainly was. So I just...
And I'm shocked that Rocco liked it. I mean, that's the one that had the vegetables.
Yeah,
Yay,
no,
Dan,
and
for
Rocco,
getting my
yeah, that's
son
what
to
I
eat
hope it becomes a
vegetables.
tradition. Yeah, Rocco's not the most adventurous eater, so that was really huge. So Dan, I have to express this in the only words I know how. Way before the pandemic, way before this Zoom show, I always thought that you were one of the most amazing, brilliant comics and writers, just writers of jokes that I had ever been around. And our connection together is very strong. So strong, in fact, that I have this little song I sing about my allergies, and I was so nervous about it one time. And I never ask other comedians if they think something will work, because I don't think it's fair, you know? But I just felt like you and I were cool enough that I could be like vulnerable in front of you. And you went into that hallway and you listened to me and you had my back.
I remember that.
That was one of those moments where I was like, I love this guy, but I feel like this guy really, like, this guy and I, we have a connection.
Yeah.
And he had my back in this moment of being vulnerable, which in our business is not necessarily the major practice nowadays. A lot of comedians try to be cool, which me and Dara find very funny, because the idea of being a comedian is that you're sort of not cool or an outsider or from the island of misfit toys.
Right.
So being vulnerable in front of another comedian is something I'm so hesitant about.
Sure.
And you and I, from there, we've shared meals together, shows together, and then through this, I feel like we became even closer as creative partners. But you're just somebody that my family loves and I love, and I can't thank you enough for being the tradition on this show and for joining us for all 3 season finales of Philly Comedy Club and Last Out.
I just want you to know that was, again, Russell, gorgeous and nicer than what you said when you proposed to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was more nervous that day, you know, like, you know, I thought about what I was going to say to Dan.
I'm actually a little hurt right now. I'm a little upset.
Wait, can I respond quickly?
Because
No,
Dan, hold on one second, because I was proposed to while I had spanakopita in my mouth.
Whoa.
And almost choked to death.
Was that your college boyfriend?
No, spanakopita.
Hank is very happy and married.
That was Stavros, not spanakopita. But Russell, that was very beautiful.
You can respond, Dan, but I just want you to know that I love you.
My first show I did at Atlantic City Comedy Club, I was actually visiting my in-laws in Connecticut. So I drove 5 hours to host.
Oh.
And I remember my friends being like, "Why are you doing that?" I'm like, I got to go perform there. I've never performed there. And I'm so excited. I walked in and Russ came right up to me and was just like, you know, bring the energy, go have fun, go enjoy it. And he pumped me up. And I met him for 5 seconds. And I remember running on stage, having 2 like great sets and great performances. And Russ hugged me. I knew him for like 5 minutes. He hugged me. He was like, "That was awesome. That was great." I'm like, "I know."
I know. And I'm not a hugger if I don't know you, I'm not a hugger. So I just...
Well, in my mind, it was a hug. Maybe it was a high five.
No, it was. No, I thought I could not get over how brilliant the writing of your stand-up was. Because, again, I'm very energy, long-winded, you know, whatever. you have this very earnest, you and Mark Gerber have a very simplistic approach to how you tell jokes. It's very like set up, boom, and it's so well written that you only need 5 words. You know, I need 27.
No.
And you need 5, and I just thought it was brilliant.
I love watching you perform. Your style is incredible. And I just wanted to say, like, honestly, I know we're having a love fest here, but honestly, you're a genuinely great person. I love being around you. I love performing with you. Every time I see you when I do shows, I instantly relax. Like, I always get worked up before shows. I always see you, we have some laughs, we relax, and we always have a good time. You're just a genuinely good dude, and yes, I will marry you.
Oh, yes. Oh, wow. Thank you. You made me and my parents so happy. I feel like we should get married at the Radisson on the Black Horse Pike in Delran, New Jersey.
Dan,
It would
I'm
be the
so
most
happy
romantic.
that I will have a sister wife that can cook.
Oh, yeah. No, this reboot of Big
It'll
Love
take some
is
of the
not what
pressure
people are
off.
expecting. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, first of all, let's give it up for our season finale guest, host of Hashtag Dinner's Ready Live, Mr. Dan Altano, for joining us tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
We love you. I love you. And ladies and gentlemen, before we leave you here tonight, I know I need to wrap it up, but I just want to thank everybody for joining us for our season 3 finale. Obviously, this show could not happen without the help of a few brilliant and amazing people. I want to thank all of the staff at New York Comedy Club, the mothership that makes this happen, the boss man, Emilio Savone, the lady that created this show and thought of the idea in the first place, Candy Claire. We're so grateful to her for keeping me at DARA busy and occupied so I didn't gnaw through the furniture during the pandemic. And of course, Mr. Nick Angelo in the office, who made our brilliant logo and has dealt with all of my text messages, questions about technology, and even our snafus with tickets. He is an absolute prince, and I love him so much. I love you, Nick. Thank you. I also want to thank all of the staff at Last Out Media for making the podcast version possible on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. And of course, my great friend, the co-owner of Last Out Media, Mr. John Barchard, who came up with me in Los Angeles and used to come see me at the Comedy Store, and we always dreamed of working together. And you and I made it happen, buddy. And I can't wait to see all the things that we do in the new world and the new studio with Last Out Media and with Philly Comedy Club. And I want to thank all of my, before that, also I want to thank our de facto executive producer and editor and director, Dara DeVito, for helping me cut all of my jokes down to an understandable level, and for helping direct the show every week and encouraging me to not smash my computer when I am not very good at editing, and to keep me motivated and working. I love you so much. And of course, I want to thank, of course, all the guests that have ever appeared on the show, but particularly here on the season 3 finale. I want to thank all the guests that we've had here on season 3. Shuli Egger, Nico White, Mark Gerber, Adam Ray for our 2-part interview from NBC's Young Rock. I want to thank who was here last week? Come on, Russell.
Howard Megdal.
I want to thank brilliant reporter and author Howard Megdal for doing our Phillies-themed episode and answering all my Phillies questions. And of course, my buddy, Mr. Dan Altano, for joining us on the season 3 finale, as he's joined us for all the finales. Thank you so much to all of you at home for listening. We hope to do more of these shows, but in a very different format in the fall before the end of the year. They'll be pre-recorded and probably all released at once. But as far as the live Zoom shows, this is our last one. I thank you for listening and for joining us here on season 3, episode 6, the season 3 finale of Philly Comedy Club and Last Out Media's RUS GUTIN Experience on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and everywhere you get your podcasts. Go Phillies, go Flyers, go Sixers, go Birds. Good night. I'm over here now is the song I suggest. I'm over here now. Well, I'm finally successful. I got a lot. I got a bunch of chicken breasts, dude. You want me to cook them, fry them, glaze them? I'll put them on your plate. You'll fucking feel amazing. I'm over here now. Because I'm man by Doodle. It was interesting and all, but all those people's walking on balls made me think of my last relationship. I'm over here now, huh?